Well, basically, I always knew what I wanted to do from a very early age, like as a kid. I went to this like summer camp way back in the day, and everyone laughs about it, but it was owned by Jane Fonda. I'm not sure you guys know who that is, but she was like a workout actress, kind of superstar back in the day. And every summer, my mother sent me to this camp, and you know, I got to meet a lot of people that were children of like stars and that kind of stuff. And they took us to field trips, and one of them was to a recording studio. And I was like 10 years old, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to work in a recording studio and touch buttons and listen to sound and music. And so that was it. When I was in junior high, I somehow made a friend who had turntables at his house. So I was at his house every day practicing with music and mixing with his turntables. And I watched the movie Beat Street and Breakin' like over and over again, and House Party, and that's what I wanted to do. And then I was in this little town kind of in the middle of nowhere called San Luis Obispo, and there was really not any scene for, you know, music. There was no hip hop on the radio stations. There was no like real dance music. There was no dance music scene there. So after I graduated high school, I had to move somewhere else, and so I went to San Francisco, and I met up with some friends, which was kind of a fun thing that, you know, was kind of just for somebody else. But in San Francisco, one of my friends got a job at Lucasfilm, and he helped me get in there. So I was doing, you know, little odd jobs and stuff at Lucasfilm. I meeting a lot of people that were like recording engineers who that was their career, and they were making a good living at it. And so, you know, at this point, I kind of dabbled around in college, and I never really, you know, had any mentors or no one to tell me what to do. But for the first time, I got to ask people questions about, you know, actually making a living doing sound and music and that kind of thing. So they told me about a college that they all went to called Full Sail. And I was always the first one to class and the last one to leave. And when I left there, I came back to San Diego, and I happened to start working at a school called High Tech High when it first started up, and that kind of started my whole teaching end of what I do. So I was teaching kids how to like produce music and make movies and that kind of thing. And I always had my own like DJ kind of career kind of on the side. And you know, 8 years later, it's built up to where it is now, where it's like now I have just as much work DJing, or sometimes even more work doing music and DJing, doing nightclubs, recording sessions, private events, corporate stuff, you know, as I do teaching. So yeah, I really enjoy what I do. It's been a lot of hard work. School's been a huge part of it. I'm really glad I went to school. Full Sail is just one example of a good school that's out there that I feel like really helped me out. I learned a lot. Teaching, no. I had no idea I was going to be a teacher. That was a happy accident that I'm really glad that it took place. The High Tech High experience was you know, a huge learning experience, and that's a big part of who I am now. But DJing and music, yeah. I mean, I was, even before I went to the recording studio, I was, you know, wanting to breakdance, and if I had been a good breakdancer, I probably wouldn't have been a DJ, but I was a terrible breakdancer, and so I had to quit breakdancing and let my friends breakdance, and I ended up being their DJ. A lot of people think that DJs, they party a lot. And I guess there's a lot of DJs in the media. There's like Pauly D, and you know, you see a lot of yeah, DJ AM. He died of an overdose on drugs and stuff. But honestly, DJing has been what's kept me out of trouble my entire life. I was always at a party. I was 16 doing college parties. You know, I was, you know, 18 in 21 and up clubs. But the fact of the matter is, I'm busy the entire time. It's like I'm not out there drinking. I never even drank till I was an adult. I never tried drugs ever, because it's like a job. It's like you're there, you're part of the action, but you're there 2 hours before everybody else, and then when everybody's there, you're busy, you're mixing, and you're concentrating, and then by the time you leave, everyone's already gone because the party's over and you have to pack up all your gear. So it kept me out of trouble. Yeah, I mean, whether it's DJing or music or whatever you decide you want to do, I mean, find your passion and then try your best to be the best at it. And that's, for me, and from what I've seen, that's the key to happiness. Alright guys, thanks a lot.